Aston Martin's attempt to sign Newey has failed. Max Verstappen will need to make a big decision soon, and Mercedes has a new plan to help them get the most out of their car. Let's get straight into the latest F1 news. Günther Steiner, the former Haas team principal, cautions that although Max Verstappen currently holds a dominant position in Formula One, it's important to remember that nothing lasts forever. Verstappen has been victorious in 21 out of the last 23 races, setting new records for the most wins in a calendar year in the past 2 seasons. In 2022, he achieved 15 wins, while last season he secured 19 victories. In the ongoing 2024 season, Verstappen has already triumphed 4 times out of 5 races. Throughout the history of Formula One, different eras have been marked by the dominance of specific drivers and teams. In the 1980s and 90s, McLaren and Williams exerted their control over the sport. Later, Ferrari and Michael Schumacher became the prevailing force in the early 2000s, followed by Red Bull and Sebastian Vettel winning 4 consecutive championships before the Mercedes era in the turbo-hybrid era began. Thanks to the adoption of ground effect aerodynamics, Red Bull, led by Verstappen, has once again risen to the top, leaving Lewis Hamilton, a 7-time world champion and Verstappen's title rival in 2021, without a victory in the past 50 races. Steiner highlights Verstappen's success in contrast to Hamilton's current unfavorable streak, but he also acknowledges that such eras of dominance often come to an abrupt end. Red Bull and Max Verstappen are currently doing an outstanding job. They unquestionably dominate, Steiner states in his Formula1.com column prior to the Miami race. I hold Sergio Perez in high regard. He's an excellent driver, but he can't match Verstappen at the moment. Verstappen is operating on a completely different level. In his era, Verstappen is already considered one of the all-time greats, similar to Lewis Hamilton a few years ago. When you're riding this kind of wave, you possess confidence, contentment in life, and everything seems to go right. However, all good things eventually come to an end. Just look at Lewis at the moment. It's not surprising that Toto Wolff, the head of Mercedes, is interested in signing Max. Will Verstappen leave Red Bull? He's in a favorable position. The next regulatory changes in Formula One are scheduled for 2026, introducing new power units that will result in a 50-50 split between combustion and electric power in the hybrid engines, along with the adoption of sustainable fuel. Aston Martin's hopes of recruiting Adrian Newey from Red Bull have suffered a significant setback, as rumors suggest that the renowned F1 design maestro is apprehensive about team owner Lawrence Stroll. Following days of speculation regarding his future, Red Bull officially announced on Wednesday that Newey will depart from the team in early 2023. Adrian Newey, who boasts an illustrious career in Formula One, comprising over 200 race victories, 13 drivers' championships, and 12 constructors' titles, has played a pivotal role in Red Bull's triumphs. He has been the driving force behind the design of championship-winning cars for esteemed drivers such as Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen. The news of Newey's departure is expected to intensify the competition among teams vying for his signature. Recent rumors have indicated that both Aston Martin and Ferrari have expressed interest in securing the services of the 65-year-old design genius. According to reports from last month, during the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix weekend in March, Aston Martin owner Lawrence Stroll presented Newey with a lucrative offer, aiming to capitalize on the internal instability at Red Bull. Notably, Newey had previously collaborated closely with Aston Martin when the British brand sponsored Red Bull from 2016 to 2020, contributing significantly to the development of the Valkyrie road car. In addition to luring Dan Fallows, a long-standing associate of Newey's at Red Bull, to join as Aston Martin's technical director from 2022, the team announced last May that Red Bull's current technical partners, Honda, would become their engine suppliers for Formula One's next regulations overhaul in 2026. Newey has also expressed his regret at not having had the opportunity to work with Fernando Alonso, who recently extended his contract with Aston Martin until at least the end of 2026. In a recent interview with the BBC, Newey conveyed his tremendous respect for the 2-time world champion. However, Aston Martin's prospects of securing Newey's services have been dimmed by reports indicating that the departing Red Bull figure holds reservations about Lawrence Stroll himself. Motorsport.com's report suggests that Newey is not seriously considering Aston Martin's generous offer, reflecting a rather reserved attitude towards Stroll. Furthermore, Newey is said to be worried that Stroll might exploit his signing to inflate Aston Martin's value, ultimately aiming to sell the team for financial gain. A recent Bloomberg report stated that Stroll is engaged in early discussions to sell a minority stake of up to 25% in the Aston Martin team, capitalizing on Formula One's current surge in popularity. If you want to win fan-made F1 merch, I have good news. I'll be doing a merch giveaway to 10 lucky subscribers if we can get this channel to 1,000 subscribers by the Miami Grand Prix race. So drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and you could get free F1 merch. Thanks for the support. Eddie Jordan was questioned regarding his potential involvement in helping Adrian Newey negotiate his departure from Red Bull, which was officially confirmed on Wednesday. In the press release issued by Red Bull to announce Newey's departure, he expressed gratitude to his close friend and manager Jordan, along with other important figures at Red Bull. Newey, the chief technology officer, is expected to leave in the first quarter of 2025. While rumors about Newey leaving Red Bull had circulated prior to the official announcement, the news still came as a surprise. Newey has spent an impressive 19 years in his role, making his departure a significant change. Having stepped back from his Formula One design responsibilities, Newey is now focusing on completing Red Bull's RB17 hypercar project before his departure. Jordan revealed that he has recently been actively involved in his role as Newey's personal representative, requiring him to put in extra effort and attention. During a conversation on the Formula for Success podcast, co-host David Coulthard asked Jordan if he could confirm or deny whether Newey sought his advice in discussions with Red Bull. Though Jordan remained tight-lipped on that matter, he did provide some insights into the close bond they share. Jordan reminisced, "I've known him for a long time, even back when I tried to recruit him. I remember visiting his house and leaving a check for $500,000, hoping to persuade him to become a designer at Jordan. However, he chose to go to McLaren instead." Reflecting on their relationship spanning over 30 years, Jordan mentioned that he has never heard anyone speak ill of Newey, a testament to his character and caliber. Some might say he's a genius when he has a pencil in his hand, but he becomes a very down-to-earth and modest person when he's not designing. And that's exactly who he is. Jordan continued by expressing his well wishes for Newey's future, without revealing his personal opinion or advice. He emphasized their frequent communication and shared activities, such as cycling together. Being neighbors, they spend a significant amount of time together during the summer months in Cape Town while escaping the European winter. "I'm privy to certain aspects of his life, and he knows certain things about me. However, I'm keeping everything strictly confidential. You won't get any information from me." Newey's departure from Red Bull is on amicable terms, allowing him the freedom to join another Formula One team after his departure in the first quarter of 2025, should he decide to continue his career on the grid. It has been rumored that both Ferrari and Aston Martin are interested in securing his services. Mercedes team principal, Toto Wolff, acknowledged that the team had made excessive adjustments to the car's setup during the previous race in China. This decision ultimately put them in a disadvantaged position for the remainder of the weekend. In particular, Lewis Hamilton went from starting on the front row and finishing on the podium in the sprint race to being eliminated in the first qualifying session, Q1, just a few hours later. Hamilton admitted that he and George Russell had taken different approaches to their car setups in an attempt to gain more time with their W15s in Shanghai. Although Hamilton managed to make his way through the field and secure some points during the actual race, his drop in performance was disappointing considering his strong performance in the wet conditions during the sprint qualifying on Friday. However, Mercedes now has an opportunity to start afresh in the upcoming Miami Grand Prix. This race also serves as another test for the new sprint weekend format, featuring 2 separate Parc Fermé periods throughout the weekend. In addition to Wolff admitting the adjustments made to the car setup, he confirmed that the W15 will receive its first upgrades of the season in Florida. "We are prepared for Miami, which marks the first U.S. race of the year," expressed Wolff. "The circuit is challenging, and with the second sprint race of 2024, it will provide another interesting challenge for the team. Our performance in China was not up to our usual standards due to excessive changes made to the setup before qualifying," added Wolff. "As a result, we were at a disadvantage for the rest of the weekend. However, both drivers performed admirably to secure some points. In Miami, we aim to produce a stronger performance and optimize the car. We are aware that we need to enhance our performance, and this weekend will see the introduction of our initial minor upgrades of the season," Wolff further explained. Moreover, Wolff mentioned that Miami is a significant off-track event for the team. They recently had a wonderful time in New York with their partner, WhatsApp. It's truly incredible to witness the growth of both the WhatsApp brand and Formula One in the United States, said Wolff. The fact that we had the opportunity to take over the Empire State Building and conduct a demonstration run down Fifth Avenue speaks volumes about the impact of our sport in the USA. We are excited to build on this growth. We have a complete schedule of events in Florida and anticipate a positive week both on and off the track, concluded Wolff. Heading into the weekend, Mercedes currently holds the 4th position in the Constructors' Championship. They are 44 points behind McLaren, who currently sit in 3rd place, and a significant 143 points behind the leading team, Red Bull. David Sanchez has found a new opportunity after his sudden exit from McLaren, as he makes his way back to Aston and takes on a role with Alpine. Previously employed as a junior aerodynamicist at Renault from 2005 to 2007, this time he returns in a more senior capacity as Alpine's executive technical director. Alpine has made a significant signing following the dramatic departure of Sanchez from McLaren. Having spent a decade at Ferrari, he rejoined McLaren at the beginning of this season, but decided to leave after just 3 months due to a disagreement about his role. Typically, high-level F1 staff members observe a period of gardening leave, but in this case, Alpine has confirmed that Sanchez will begin working with the team immediately. He will report to team principal and vice president of Alpine Motorsports, Bruno Famin. Expressing his excitement about the challenge ahead, Sanchez shared, "I'm thrilled to take on this new opportunity at Alpine. Returning to Aston, where my Formula One journey began, holds a special significance for me. This team is filled with exceptional individuals, and there's a clear potential waiting to be unlocked. Our primary goal is to enhance on-track performance, and it's precisely this kind of challenge that motivates me. I am fully prepared to commence working with the Aston Very technical teams again, with the sole aim of restoring consistent success to this remarkable team." Famin expressed his delight at welcoming David back to Aston, highlighting the importance of this appointment in optimizing the team's performance. He acknowledged that the car's performance and development have not progressed sufficiently in line with their ambitions. Famin eagerly anticipates the collaboration with David to achieve ultimate success. In his new position, Sanchez will oversee the technical department at Aston, assuming responsibility for performance, engineering, and aerodynamics. Alpine has recently adopted a similar technical structure to McLaren, and Sanchez will now lead the 3-pronged approach. Reporting to him will be Karan Pilbeam as the Technical Director of Performance, Joe Burnell as the Technical Director of Engineering, and David Weeder as the Technical Director of Aerodynamics. When Sanchez departed from McLaren, team principal Andrea Stella explained that the role had changed significantly from their initial agreement over a year ago. "After careful discussions between David Sanchez and the team leadership, we mutually decided that it would be best for David to leave the team," Stella commented on the move. "Upon our joint reflection, it became apparent that the role, responsibilities, and aspirations associated with David's position did not align with our original expectations when he agreed to join us in February 2023. Liberty Media, the owners of Formula One, have been accused by 12 American lawmakers of engaging in behavior reminiscent of a cartel by rejecting Andretti's request to join the grid. Andretti, a prospective American team, had attempted to secure a spot on the grid, but was turned down earlier this year by Formula One Management, FOM. The Andretti family, led by former world champion Mario Andretti, has been striving for years to secure a place on the grid, but has faced numerous obstacles at every turn. In February, FOM rejected their appeal, dismantled their bid, and implied that they lacked the competitiveness required. Despite this setback, the Andretti family remains undeterred and has recently acquired a new headquarters in Silverstone to intensify their efforts of joining the grid. Ahead of the Miami Grand Prix, Mario Andretti has traveled to Washington, D.C. following a letter from 12 members of the United States Congress addressed to Liberty Media CEO Greg Maffei. The Congress members posed 3 questions regarding Andretti's rejection in their letter. First, they wanted to know why the team was denied entry when the Concord Agreement permits up to 12 teams. Second, they sought clarification on how FOM's denial aligns with the Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890, which prohibits unreasonable restraints on market competition. Third, they inquired about the impact that General Motors and Andretti's participation in racing, as well as GM's entry into the European market, may have had on the decision to deny admission to the Andretti Global Team. The members of Congress also accused Formula One of rejecting Andretti due to pressure from existing European teams linked to foreign automobile manufacturers who directly compete with American car companies, such as GM. The letter further suggests that denying Andretti's entry into F1 might be in violation of American antitrust laws. The Congress members argue that participation in F1 should be based on merit rather than solely protecting the current lineup of teams. They emphasize this point, particularly considering Formula One's growing presence in the United States, with 3 Grand Prix racing events taking place in Miami, Florida, Austin, Texas, and Las Vegas, Nevada. During a press conference in Washington alongside Mario Andretti, Congressman John James accused Liberty Media of exhibiting behavior similar to that of a cartel. He alleged that they were postponing a decision in order to secure a more favorable deal for themselves at the expense of having this iconic team participate in America's 250th anniversary in 2026. Additionally, Congressman James suggested that executives from Liberty Media could be called upon to testify before Congress to explain the reasons for rejecting Andretti's bid to enter Formula One. Watch this video next to get up to date on the latest F1 news before the Miami Grand Prix.